What's up, Danganronpa fans? It's me, everyone's favorite punk rock guinea pig VTuber, Punk Brock, and I just got done finishing Danganronpa Goodbye Despair, and I have thoughts like I had last time. So as always, enjoy my opinions, don't take them too seriously. If you want to argue with me, do it in the comments, do it nicely. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. One thing that's important to note is I have not watched Danganronpa 3, the anime, yet. I've actually, well, that's kind of a lie. I've watched the first 4 episodes, which may have skewed. I'm trying not to take those opinions into account. All I'm going to say is I have a feeling I will feel differently about some of these characters after I've watched the anime. So maybe we'll do another tier list after the anime, but for now, these are just my opinions based on the game. So enjoy. Okay, let's get into this, because the one thing I thought, at least when I was playing, was that the characters in 2 as opposed to 1, they kind of took the funness of the characters and like amplified them to friggin' 11. So you get like insane characters like Gundam, like Nekomaru. And if you watch my playthrough, I feel like you'll already kind of know where everybody's going, but hey, maybe I'll even surprise myself. Also, this tier list has everybody in. It has Monami, it has Usami, it has Monokuma. The last one didn't have Monokuma in, so this is cool. This is cool. Okay. Do I feel differently about him in the first game? I guess we'll find out. Let's start. Let's begin at the beginning with Mahiru, who was the first to die, if I'm not mistaken. Am I mistaken? Okay, this is me cutting in just to say that Mahiru was not the first person to die. I've just remembered it was quote unquote Byakuya. I feel like my initial thoughts on Mahiru. There's definitely a lot of like weird toxic masculinity with Mahiru, where she's like, aren't you a man? Like, hey, why don't you man up and shit like that, which like made me dislike her a bit. I feel like she's supposed to be like a really nice, wholesome like character that's liked by everybody, but I did not get a good vibe from her. Honestly, based on the limited interactions we have, she's definitely here. I think she's clawful. I wasn't a fan. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put her in clawful. That's my initial thoughts. If there's any doubt, if you think Nekomaru is going anywhere but Ultimate, you are high. My guy, okay, I said I wasn't going to mention the anime because I really haven't watched enough of it yet, but like, Nekomaru's entrance in the anime is one of the most insane things I've ever seen. He like blows up a toilet because he shits so hard. He's an absolute legend. He's an absolute legend in every form. I mean, could we shoot Mechamaru as well? I don't know if I'd put Mechamaru as, okay, look, Mechamaru, I think that feels right to me, right? Nekomaru is ultimate because there is just like, the thing is like, he's a team leader, so he's supposed to inspire people, but he's also just like so high level. Like I guess Akane isn't like an ultimate fighter, but like he consistently beats her. And, like, he takes a bullet for her. Or he takes a cannon for her. Nekomaru is an absolute Giga Sigma Chad. He is the best of the best. Plus, he gets ultimate on Bulge alone. Teru is in despair. I don't think anyone would argue with that, right? Do I even need to explain it? The accent alone in the English version is like, whoo. Anyone gonna fight me on that? No, right? Anyway, moving on. Akane is interesting. So Akane kind of rules, and I do really like the character, but she kind of sucks as well. She's like, she's kind of selfish, and she's kind of like, well, she's just very like, I guess the thing with Akane is she has a very particular set of values which she judges people by, right? So she respects people who are strong. So she like fucking loves Nekomaru. But like she doesn't even learn our name until like chapter 4 or something. So I would struggle to put Akane higher than bearable, but I do like her. I think she's a fun character. But I can't justify putting her higher than bearable. Kazuichi had so much promise. Like, I saw Kazuichi's design and I was like, oh, this guy rules. He's like such a fun design. Like, I love the colors. He's got like this awesome like neon yellow like tracksuit, jumpsuit, overalls, whatever you want to call it. Like the pink hair, like the weird like shark mouth teeth. And then he opened his mouth and he's despair because he sucks. He like he just like he's just like he's a big old Sonya simp, but he just like, I don't know, in the worst way. He gives off big incel energy. Yeah, Kazuichi Soda, I'm sorry, buddy. I hoped it would have been different, but you're down here. I feel like this one's gonna upset people. I did not like Mikan. I did not like Mikan. She kind of redeemed herself. She had a similar trajectory, I guess, to Celeste in the first game, where she has like a switch flipped, and it's like, oh, this is like a completely different personality. Which, spoilers, we know now, is because she remembered Junko, and she remembered that she was the ultimate. She remembered that she was one of the ultimate despairs. So that made her a much more interesting character. There's something interesting about like an evil nurse. But as she is in the game itself, it's just she like, I get what they were going for. Like, she's a fan servicey character. You're supposed to feel sorry for her, but she was just too much. She just annoyed me. I didn't feel sorry for her. I just wanted her to shut up. Sorry, she sucked. Moving on. Sonya. Sonya had like some funny moments, I think. Like, it's funny that she's the princess of like this like aggressive military nation, and there's lots of allusions to like she's like she, because I feel like the game wants you to think like, oh, she's like an innocent princess and she doesn't really know much about the world, but then it's like, no, she's actually like kind of a like low-key a badass, and is also like, you know, sexually active. She isn't like as innocent and like pure as I think that character would usually be, which makes it more interesting. But I still didn't like. I like the fact that she was obsessed with serial killers. That was fun. She had fun things going for her, but I just didn't love the character. I think for me, she's clawful, honestly. Peko. Peko had the similar thing where like I wasn't super interested in her until she was on trial, but I'm moving up because like she's a fun character as it was, but her like I think her like execution scene was not it was not the most impactful for me. We'll get to that, but like it was probably it was one of the top two for me. She like a very cool character. Like Peko for me, I don't know if I can put her super high level, but I don't know if she deserves to be bearable. I feel like she really came into her own with the trial. I feel like she's still bearable though. I guess that's the problem with going out of the game so early, is you don't get to learn like a ton. But I did like what I saw with Peko, but I'd like to see more. Nagito Komeda. Now, the more observant of you who look, if you've been part of my stream during this whole gameplay process, you'll know my character design. I kind of look a bit like Makoto. I got the white hair, I got the green jacket. When I was playing the first game, people were like, oh, there's a character in the second game who I think you're going to enjoy. Joke's on you. I did not enjoy him. The thing, I think this character for me, so I'm going to do another tier list once I finish the anime, I think, to revisit all these characters. For me, playing the game, Nagito's down here. I didn't enjoy the character. And I kept waiting for like some, I get that like I liked him when he kind of like shifted after he found out kind of the truth of the matter, that like we were all ultimate despairs. I like how he then just started being like horrible to everybody. I thought that was kind of fun. But he's still like, maybe I'd put him in clawful. He did have his moments. Like I like the fact that there's like an antagonist among us. But I feel like, because the first couple of the anime episodes I watched, I liked his character a lot more. I put him in clawful. I think I'm gonna end up revising my opinion of him, but for right now, based on the gameplay alone, I think he's clawful for me. He was fun, he was interesting, but I just didn't love him. Oh, Chiaki. Now I did love Chiaki. I think like immediately Chiaki's up here. I don't know if she's Now is Chiaki ultimate? Is Chiaki ultimate? Like I think so. This one's a tough one. I'm gonna set her right there for now and just really think about this. Like, yeah, I think so, right? So it turns out that Chiaki is like, and again, I've watched 2 episodes of the fucking anime, so I know that like within the game it presents to you that Chiaki was like never a real person. I don't know if it out and out says she was never a real person, but the implication is that she's an AI within the game. She's an NPC. And then spoilers for the anime, it turns out no, she was like a real classmate. I'm imagining the anime ends with something bad happening to Chiaki, but we'll get there. Within the game though, yeah, she's just so fun. She's so chill. She kind of plays the Kyoko role in this one, but she's like way more likable. Like I like Kyoko, but Kyoko is like very cold, very standoffish, whereas Chiaki's just very chill, a centering, calming presence. I think she's ultimate. Yeah, you know what? She's ultimate. Note it down. Okay. Now, this is, oh god, I can't not talk about the anime because like it recontextualizes this character a bit. So we don't know this character's name. We are introduced to this character as Byakuya, but you know, obviously it doesn't look the same. So the implication is just like, oh, maybe Byakuya's just put on some weight. Turns out this is the ultimate imposter. No like known identity. We don't know who this person is. We don't know what their name is. We don't know anything about them. Within the first couple of episodes of the anime, they don't start as Byakuya. So they start as like the ultimate animator or something like that. And I don't know where that character goes. I don't know how they decide to become Byakuya. We don't really get to know a lot about them. They're presented as Byakuya, which kind of puts them up here, which puts them in contention because they are, you know, pretending to be Byakuya. You know, I'm probably clawful. I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued by this character. I'm really interested to see what happens with this character in the anime. I wonder why they decided to be Byakuya. I have many questions. I can't put them at despair because they're being Byakuya, you know? But I don't know enough about them to put them any higher. Hajime. I got the question a lot when I was playing, like, oh, who do you like better, Hajime or Makoto? And it's like, well, obviously Hajime, because like Makoto within the first game was very much a standard player character. Didn't have that much of a personality, didn't really have that many traits. Like, was supposed to be the ultimate hope, right? So his thing, he's positive and he's hopeful. But like Hajime's even less, like as far as we're aware, because it's revealed through the game that he was a reserve course student. So he actually has no talent. So this is what? Yeah, okay. So I'm just thinking ahead because there's a separate entry. So this is just Hajime, but I still think Hajime is a good character, because he has like he has a bit more context than Makoto did. Makoto was just like, oh, I'm lucky. I lucked into this school, and you don't really get to see that. Whereas Hajime is like, Hajime admire. Maybe this is the anime seeping in again, though. Because Hajime's whole thing is like he admires those with talent, and he wants to have talent himself. I think he's clawful. I think people might be upset about that. I think, again, that's going to be a character that I will change my opinion on after the anime. It's really interesting that the first game kind of stands alone. That the tie-in anime was literally a bad retelling of it. But this game is like, it seems like a lot of the context is heavily reliant on the anime. So again, we'll come back to this after the anime. Count how many times I say anime. Izuru Kamakura, right? That's what like Hajime Mark II is called. We don't get to learn a lot about this character because like we know that they are, well, I guess we get the scene with Nagito on the boat, right? Where they just kind of seem mean and like shitty. I do like that they do see like they're kind of here for now. I'm just gonna set them right here. I'll come to my decision, but I do like that they're kind of like snippy and they're like they look down upon Nagito. So just like your talent's rubbish. Like you're lucky. Like everyone's a bit lucky. That's not a talent. So I do like that it's kind of Hajime with a bit more of an edge. Beautiful hair as well. We don't get to learn a lot about the character except that they are like supposedly a badass. I guess they have to go in clawful just because they had some fun moments from the very little we saw about them. And also, it's a fun character design. It's fun that they like grew his hair out and gave him red eyes. I do like that. Hyoko, Hyoko, I feel like is gonna be another divisive character where like Hyoko's whole thing is that she's like a shitty little kid, who's just like horrible to everybody. But I love that. I think that's such a fun character. For me, Hyoko is I think super high level. She's not quite ultimate. I'm trying to think about everybody. Like for everybody else, I feel like we got to see some level of their skill, or like I guess with somebody like Fuyuhiko, it's like they're the ultimate yakuza, but like they act like that. With Hyoko, sorry. Her whole thing is she's the ultimate dancer, but as far as I'm aware, there's not a scene where she displays that or that comes into play. Like really the only thing about that I guess is the traditional wear. Like her clothing comes into play a bit, but it would have been cool to see her use her talent. We didn't really get to see that. That might have pushed her up higher. I also like that her hair looks like bananas. Yeah, Fuyuhiko is just great. I love how horrible she is. I love when she says pig barf. Monokuma, it feels like cheating because Monokuma's just always such a fun character. Like what a fun character design. What a fun character. I'm trying to think like how Monokuma is in the second game as opposed to the first. I mean, pretty much the same, right? He's just great. He has like an army of robots. It turns out, spoilers. He's well, it's oh god. No, if I were to try and explain this game and like everything that happens in it, would be here a while, but this version of Monokuma is just as good as the version of the first game, and he was ultimate then. So there you go. Gundam Tanaka is ultimate. I'm not having a debate about that. Like the fact that the localization calls him the ultimate breeder, I have some questions about. But he's incredible. One of the most fun character designs. Like he's so over designed that it's so awesome. It's so fun. The scarf, like the hair, the different colored eyes, which blink blink in memory of my boy. Just like I love the Chuny vibe that he has going on. And the fact that like he's presented, you look at him and he's like, oh wow, this is a dark Pokemon leader. Well, I mean, I guess that's it though, is it? You look at him and like, oh, this is like he's some kind of like demonologist or something, or I don't know. And then it's like, oh wait, he specializes in animal husbandry. I'm not gonna say he's the ultimate breeder. But yeah, he has his 4 Dark Davis of Destruction, which are just 4 hamsters that chill on him. He's a great character. I like his relationship with Sonya. I think that's fun. And he's basically like a Pokemon trainer within this game. I think he's designed to look like a Pokemon gym leader, and I guess that's ultimately what he is, right? He's an animal trainer. Also his death scene, I am not kidding. It's hard to tell with VTubing. When I watched his death scene, I cried. It was legit really sad. And then I watched it again afterwards and I cried even more. I love you, Gundam Tanaka. Please come back to us. Okay. Usami. I do like Usami. She's probably bearable. Like it's a really fun design. I guess like I'm assuming like within lore, and maybe we'll get to it, I don't know, in the anime, but like I assume she's designed to kind of resemble Monokuma but be like a good version of Monokuma. So you use like kind of white and pink rather than white and black. She's very cute. I like the little rabbit. I like her staff, her wings, the little tutu. Yeah, Usami's a fun character. Monomi. Monami, however, is like, Monami's kind of dreadful. Like to look at, like the character itself is like, it's not bad. I end up feeling a little bad for Monami because she's always just like, I'm trying to help you, you idiots, and everyone's just like, no, fuck off. But like, what an ugly character design, because she has like Monokuma's belly with a diaper. It's an ugly character design. She belongs in despair. Fuyuhiko. Fuyuhiko is a hard one for me. Fuyuhiko's probably up here. Because I like Fuyuhiko's like growth as a character. Because the first chapter, he's real shitty and like he just doesn't want to do anything with anyone. But then you have the whole thing with Peko, and he loses his eye, and he becomes really likable. I think he's bearable though. Like I think he looks cooler with the eye patch for sure. Like a fun character, but I don't get any hugely strong feelings from him. Ibuki. Now Ibuki I didn't love at first. Really fun character design. And like, you know, the fact that she's the ultimate musician, she's just like me. For real. But she wasn't like, I didn't kind of have I didn't super have the character like completely figured out until I forget, maybe it is where we find the venue, the Titty Typhoon, and she kind of comes into her own a bit more. I love the character. I think she's just like real dumb and derpy and random and fun, which a lot of people didn't seem to like, but I thought was really charming. I think she's not quite ultimate for me. I think she's super high level. She's definitely like super high level plus though. I think we'll go super high level. I like Ibuki a lot, but like she's not quite the I'm gonna move Monokuma over here. She's not quite the holy trinity here. But she's peeking out. Yeah, I guess that's my Danganronpa Goodbye Despair tier list. Like I said a billion times, once I watch the anime, I'm going to come back. I'm going to look at this list again. I'm going to revisit it. But for now, based solely on the games, this is my tier list. Hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to keep playing Danganronpa games, and I'm super excited to do so. So come hang out. Say hey. Goodbye.